The drama begins with Bomb, who has been waking up for a year with the same hit to the face. In the dream, a woman appears out of nowhere and slaps her. In real life, June Bomb opens her eyes with her hand trembling, as if her body couldn't let go of what her mind is trying to hide. She sits up in bed, breathes, and repeats the same thing as always. Today she doesn't need to smile, today she doesn't need to have fun, today she doesn't need to look happy. It's not an act, it's a shield. In Shinsu, the cold doesn't forgive, and neither does the school. In the teacher's lounge, several teachers talk about Bomb as if she were a misplaced mystery. That she barely talks, that she always wears dark clothes, that she avoids everyone. They remember she arrived last year from Seoul as an exchange teacher, and the gossip builds itself. Maybe they sent her far away because of some problem in the capital. Bomb hears part of it, and when they greet her, she barely nods in silence. She's there, but it's obvious she doesn't want to expose herself. That day, the hallway is stirred up for another reason. Seon Han Jaeol appears, a handsome and charismatic student who attracts looks just by walking. He doesn't seem to seek attention, but attention follows him. Han Jaeol walks up to teacher Hong to talk about something, and Hong takes him aside with a worried face. Later, in a teacher's meeting, the principal announces there will be a parents' meeting after exams. In the middle of the usual things, some wireless earphones fall to the floor and Bomb bends down to pick them up. Outside, heavy snow is falling. Bomb goes to close a window and, as soon as she looks outside, her expression changes. She says something dangerous is approaching. In the distance, emergency shouts can be heard. Everyone runs to the window. In the courtyard, a man appears walking in the middle of the snowstorm in just a t-shirt, as if the cold didn't touch him. It's Seon Jae-gyu. The reaction inside is immediate. Panic. Teacher Hong whispers that if Jae-gyu asks for him, they must say he's not here today. The teachers scatter and even the principal disappears. One teacher tries to stop him with a flower pot as an improvised weapon, but Jae-gyu breaks through the closed gate with one push and the pot ends up in pieces. Bomb looks at him and, without meaning to, thinks the same as everyone else. That man doesn't fit. She notices a mark on his hand and, with the rumors in the air, imagines the worst. Meanwhile, Jae-gyu comes in and asks for teacher Hong. One teacher, scared to death, tells him Hong didn't come. Jae-gyu sits at a table like it's nothing and decides to wait. The absurd part is that Hong is hiding under that very table, trembling. The principal gathers his courage and comes out. He asks what's going on. Jae-gyu explains the reason. Han Jaeol was chosen for an award, but a rumor spread that it was cancelled. Han Jaeol went to ask for an explanation, and teacher Hong heard him with a comment that this kind of award is only given to students who have parents. Jae-gyu didn't come for the award itself, he came for that phrase. He also makes it clear that Han Jaeol didn't call him. He found out through someone else and came to talk face to face. The principal tries to calm him down by offering coffee and asking a female teacher to prepare it. That makes everything worse. Jae-gyu gets furious, not because he's lacking coffee, but because it bothers him to see a female teacher made to serve as if it were her duty. He says he can do it himself. In the coffee area is Ms. Yun, and Jae-gyu, with his direct style, stares at her and drops a compliment that leaves her speechless. No one knows if it's impulse, provocation, or simple lack of filter. While the school is left with that fright stuck in its throat, Choi Se-jin is introduced, a studious and competitive student glued to her phone, typing and waiting for a reply. Han Jaeol goes up to her to invite her to eat with the group, but she turns him down. Later, Han Jaeol tells his friends that Se-jin is the only one who doesn't seem impressed by him. In that conversation, another piece of information comes out. Someone tells him his uncle came to the school because he talked about the award. Han Jaeol panics, because he knows that can blow up. In the office, the principal is still trying to negotiate and makes another mistake. He suggests going out for a smoke to talk. Jae-gyu explodes, slams the table and splits it, reminding him they are in a school. Then he drops what really hurts. He has raised Han Jaeol since he was small. He fed him, accompanied him, supported him. That's why, even if they call him uncle, he feels he's in the place of a father. He says he won't tolerate them humiliating his son for not having present parents. With that, he leaves. When he leaves, teacher Hong crawls out from under the table with a traumatized face. In the teachers' lounge the rumors begin, that Jae-gyu is dangerous, that he destroys places, that he does strange things at night. They even tell exaggerated stories as if they were evidence. In the middle of it all, someone comments that it was the first time they heard Bomb speak, because she muttered a phrase when she saw him break the gate. Han Jaeol arrives, sees the disaster and apologizes. Without arguing, he starts cleaning. Bomb looks at him and tells him he doesn't need to apologize for something he didn't do. Han Jae-ol leaves, but it's clear that this family lives walking on glass. Later, Bomb goes shopping and receives a message from her father that he made her favorite food, that he wants to eat with her, and that he's sorry for things he said before. Bomb goes back home with that in her head, tries to open the door, but the lock won't budge. The key bends completely. Frustrated, she throws it into the water and goes to look for a copy at another teacher's place. On the way, she runs into Jae-gyu. He's carrying something in his hand and Bomb, contaminated by gossip, thinks it's a weapon. She panics and runs. Jae-gyu follows her, confused, trying to catch up to ask what's wrong. Bomb stops and tries to call the police. In that instant, Jae-gyu hurts his back with an object and starts dripping blood. Bomb freezes and drops her phone. Jae-gyu picks it up and calmly asks if she was calling the police. Terrified, Bomb snatches the phone back and begs him not to hurt her. Jae-gyu clarifies that what she saw wasn't a knife, but food he was carrying in his hand. Bomb tastes a small piece and feels the world collapse on top of her out of embarrassment. She explains that she got scared because he was following her and because of a mark she thought was a tattoo. Jae-gyu shows her it wasn't a tattoo, it was a keepsake, something he didn't want to throw away. Bomb takes the chance to tell him her gate won't open. Jae-gyu jumps the wall, opens from the inside, and comes back out like it's the most normal thing. Before leaving, he tells her she'll have to pay for the bad time she gave him. It sounds like a threat, but also like a dark joke. That night we see Jae-gyu's house. He's with Han Jae-ol and a man who calls him boss, someone close who seems to work with him. Jae-gyu brought Han Jae-ol's favorite food. It's revealed that the award was given in the end, but Jae-gyu went to the school anyway because what broke him was teacher Hong's comment. Jae-gyu asks about Bomb and learns she came from Seoul last year. Later, his co-worker asks why he arrived late and if the police caught him. Jae-gyu says they ignored him. In his head, one idea sticks. She doesn't remember him, and he's not planning to let that story go. A few days later, Bomb announces the parents' meeting in class. Sejin asks what happens if parents can't come. Bomb firmly answers that they must attend. A student mentions that Han Jae-ol doesn't have parents. Han Jae-ol is sad for a second, but then smiles again while looking at Bomb. Bomb says his case is different and they'll talk about it separately. On the way out, Sejin tells Bomb that her parents won't be able to attend either and that she'll arrange another appointment. Bomb listens, but another teacher barges in with a sarcastic comment about benefiting from parents, hinting at Bomb's past. Bomb is shocked and asks that they not call her parents. She's left wondering if that teacher knows something about Seoul. Bomb keeps thinking about Jae-gyu and his threat that she will pay. Other teachers scare her with indirect comments, as if it were inevitable that she'll run into him again. On the other side, Jae-gyu enters a restaurant and the owner stiffens in fear. Polite, Jae-gyu asks for a table and eats calmly. While he's eating, Bomb calls him and reminds him about the parents' meeting. Jae-gyu stands up immediately and the whole place tenses, as if an alarm had gone off. Bomb, seeing the effect, tells him to come on Monday. Monday arrives and Bomb wears light clothes for the first time, as if forcing herself to change the script. A woman warns her that he's coming. Bomb stops Han Jae-ol and asks him to go home alone after the meeting. Han Jae-ol suggests she see him alone and leaves. Jae-gyu enters the classroom with a new plant. He says he brought it to replace the one that broke in the school disaster. He sits across from Bomb and talks naturally, as if they already knew each other. He mentions that she's from Seoul, says his mother was from Seoul, and then changes the subject to Han Jae-ol. He comments that the boy doesn't want to go to college. Then he starts asking personal questions, even trying to find out Bomb's age. Bomb gets annoyed and draws the line. She's his teacher, he's the guardian, and that's where the personal stuff ends. Jae-gyu takes it with a slight smile, as if boundaries were just a door he needs to learn how to open. Meanwhile, Sejin waits for Han Jae-ol and apologizes for having spoken too much in class. Instead of arguing, Han Jae-ol asks for her phone, saves his number and makes it clear that if she has a problem with him, she should tell him directly. Proudly, Sejin saves his contact with a teasing nickname. The next day, the plant becomes a nuisance in the office. The teachers say they can't concentrate and decide to take it outside. 3 of them struggle to lift it and can't. Jae-gyu appears, lifts it without a problem and puts it in his car. Then he opens the door and tells Bomb that you don't throw away a gift like that. Out of discomfort or a sense of responsibility, Bomb ends up walking with him. On the way, Bomb secretly watches him. Jae-gyu notices and tells her so directly. Then he drops a sentence that throws her off. He says they have met before. Bom denies it, but tries to remember. They arrive at Bom's house. Jae-gyu places the plant and looks around as if he recognizes the place. Bom looks at his body and his scars again, and when Jae-gyu catches her staring, he asks her for a coffee as payment for all his help. Bom excuses herself by saying she doesn't have coffee. Jae-gyu leaves. That same day, Teacher Hong calls Bom and tells her he's assigned her the environmental club. Bom is annoyed, but there's nothing she can do. Then she gets another call, her father, asking for forgiveness once again. Hearing his voice, Bom bursts into tears and hangs up. Then the gate rings. Bom goes out and sees Jae-gyu there with coffee ready and coffee packets. He asks if she's crying and, without drama, leaves her some sweets. He suggests that when she's sad, she should eat something sweet to feel better. He leaves. Bom is left frozen because that phrase opens up a memory. The story introduces Choi E-jun, a lawyer who has been looking for a man for 10 years. It's clearly something personal. A flashback shows someone attacking him, and in the present E-jun is convinced the man he's looking for is still alive. That man is Jae-gyu. Later, Bom leaves a bookstore trying to remember where she saw Jae-gyu before. Across the street there's a police station. Bom sees Jae-gyu coming out of there and hides. When he walks away, Bom runs, as if her fear were faster than her reason. In the environmental club, the students are bored. Sejin complains that they never go on field trips. Han Jaeol suggests going to a nearby power plant and says his uncle works there. Bom is surprised because she imagined him without a fixed direction and, to avoid trouble, suggests another plant. But the idea is already planted. Jae-gyu works at a power plant and gets a call from one of the club kids. After school, Jae-gyu walks up to Bom and talks about the field trip. With quiet insistence, he convinces her to do it, even if it's just for one day. That night, at home, Sejin's parents review her report and pressure her. She is second in everything and must be first. Sejin feels crushed. She leaves her food untouched, locks herself in her room, and calls someone to ask if she can sleep at their place. The next day, Bom leaves home repeating to herself that she won't have fun or feel happy. Jae-gyu is waiting for her in his car and Han Jaeol joins them. On the way, Jae-gyu criticizes Bom's dark clothing and tells her she should dress better. Suddenly, Han Jaeol gets a call from Sejin, asks to be let out and gets off, leaving Bom and Jae-gyu alone. Han Jaeol runs to Sejin. She tells him that because of him she's always second and her parents scold her. She's tired, so she decides to run away. Han Jaeol realizes she plans to go to Seoul and follows her. On the other side, Bom and Jae-gyu stop to eat. Bom sees a dish that reminds her of her father and orders it. Jae-gyu eats the same to keep her company, even though he's allergic. Bom notices and asks why he insisted. Jae-gyu explains that eating together with someone can make that person feel better. Bom laughs more than she usually does, as if a crack opened in her shield. Then Han Jaeol calls. Sejin ran off to Seoul and he followed her. Jae-gyu decides to go after them, but Bom insists on going too because they are her students. When Jae-gyu says Seoul, Bom's past comes back. In Seoul, Bom remembers what happened to her. During a parents' meeting, a man misinterpreted her kindness, started sending her messages, and his wife came to slap and humiliate her. Rumors spread and she was branded as if she had done something wrong, even though she hadn't. That explains her silence, her dark clothes, and that decision not to look happy. In the present, Han Jaeol catches up with Sejin in Seoul. She explodes because she feels he's chasing her even there. They walk along the Han River and talk. Sejin complains about her parents. Han Jaeol says he doesn't know what it feels like to have parents, that even though Jae-gyu takes care of him, he can't replace what he lost. Sejin gets a message and heads to a station. Bom and Jae-gyu also arrive at the station. Sejin meets a man who looks familiar to Bom. Han Jaeol loses sight of Sejin and panics, thinking she'll spend the night at that man's place. Bom finds her just in time and calls Jae-gyu, but the train leaves. Jae-gyu runs and catches up with them at the next station, jumping into the subway at the last second. In the movement, Bom almost falls and Jae-gyu catches her. That contact unlocks the entire memory. Bom remembers she already knew him. Now that her memory is on, Bom focuses on Sejin. She points at the man who was with her. At that moment Choi E-jun appears, stepping forward to stop him. It's revealed that E-jun is Sejin's older brother. It's also revealed that Lee-jun has been looking for Jae-gyu for 10 years. Lee-jun gets agitated when he sees him, and Jae-gyu pressures him about Se-jin. Bom steps in between and forces them to stop. The urgent thing is the student. They end up going back to the town together. On the way, Se-jin talks about Han Jae-ol in a less aggressive tone. Lee-jun, on the other hand, keeps looking at Jae-gyu with contained rage. A flashback shows their past. When Jae-gyu was a teenager, he brought baby Han Jae-ol to class because he had no one to leave him with. Lee-jun was in that class. Lee-jun took the baby and he calmed down immediately. Another flashback shows money kept in Jae-gyu's locker, hinting at a complicated past. Back in the present, Jae-gyu says he has nothing to do with Lee-jun and that they're strangers. Bom reminds him that Lee-jun waited 10 years and must want something. Jae-gyu admits he knows what he wants, but cuts off the conversation. Since Han Jae-ol is exhausted, Jae-gyu takes them to a hotel. There are no regular rooms, only a family one. Bom gets nervous about sharing a room. When they go in, she messes up a decorated bed to get rid of the romantic atmosphere. Jae-gyu starts working out and asks her to help him. Their faces get too close and they both pull away, uncomfortable. In the gym, a child runs near the pool and ends up drowning. Jae-gyu jumps in without thinking and pulls him out. The mother arrives and, because of a misunderstanding, slaps him. That hits Bom deeply because it reminds her of her own humiliation in Seoul. Calmly, Jae-gyu asks the mother to check on her child first. Later, when they see the recording, the mother understands and apologizes. That night, Jae-gyu gets a call and goes out. Bom, now remembering more than she lets on, decides to pretend she doesn't. The next day, Lee-jun takes Se-jin home and talks to Jong Ran-hee, Bom's mother and a famous actress. Lee-jun asks her for help to find Bom or understand her. It's clear he saw Bom before and was deeply affected. Se-jin asks Lee-jun to help her study, and he agrees, but asks for Han Jae-ol's address. Bom tries to stay away from Jae-gyu, but sees him again wearing the AirPod she lost. She runs with the other AirPod in her hand. At school, the teachers gossip again, that Jae-gyu never went out with anyone because he was raising Han Jae-ol, that maybe Han Jae-ol is his son, that a woman calls his phone. Bom is left with that doubt. One day, Bom sees Jae-gyu digging a hole and thinks the rumors were true. She goes over and finds out he's rescuing a puppy. The animal is hurt and cold. Jae-gyu gives him his t-shirt and stays shirtless to cover him. At the clinic, Bom sees scars on Jae-gyu's back and a mark on his hand. Jae-gyu tries to hide them, but Bom tells him he doesn't have to. Then the doctor asks if he's Han Jae-ol's father. Bom says he's the uncle, but the doctor insists because of the paperwork. Calmly, Jae-gyu admits he's the father. Bom is in shock. Meanwhile, Han Jae-ol and Se-jin grow closer. He offers her notes. She resists, but lets herself be helped. Se-jin even starts worrying about him, like when she returns his umbrella and tells him she doesn't want to win if something happens to him. Lee-jun and Jae-gyu also clash. Jae-gyu tells him he returned the money Lee-jun came looking for, several times. Lee-jun answers that he didn't want the money, he wanted an apology. Jae-gyu refuses. Seeing the tension, Se-jin suggests to her brother that they join forces to get revenge, though it's unclear how much is a joke and how much is pain. In the puppy's paperwork, another dark joke is revealed. Jae-gyu registered him as Han Jae-ol and put himself and Bom as the parents. The doctor says they'll keep the puppy for 10 days. Bom doesn't know whether to laugh or complain. Over time, Bom and Jae-gyu share more moments. At a meal, in front of the staff, Jae-gyu treats her as if she were his wife, as if he wanted to normalize something that doesn't exist yet. Bom invites him to drink, maybe to understand what he feels or to make up for the favor she now remembers. One of Jae-gyu's co-workers puts ideas in his head. If Bom is doing new things, maybe she likes him. When they see each other, Bom is wearing light clothes and greets him with a small smile. She feeds him by hand and the closeness becomes real. As they walk, Bom praises Jae-gyu's work and mentions that her students will go to the plant. Jae-gyu tries to ask if she feels something for him, but can't get the words out. Until Bom says it. Yes, he is thinking correctly. Jae-gyu is delighted. And Bom adds, now she remembers him. The full flashback returns. The day they met, Bom was destroyed and drunk in Seoul. Jae-gyu held her when she almost fell, took the alcohol away from her, gave her food and sweets, saying that sweet things help when someone is sad. Then he saved her when, staggering, she ended up standing in front of a truck. He ran and pulled her out in time. That was the root of everything. In the present, Jae-gyu asks her something that makes her uncomfortable. Whether that day was an accident or whether she wanted to hurt herself. Bom gets furious. She feels he's stepping too quickly into her deepest wound. She tells him he's not her friend, that he has no right to ask for explanations, and demands that he stop getting involved in her life. She leaves, and the words stick in him like a knife. The next day, frustrated, Bom kicks a tree without thinking and triggers a beehive. The bees chase her. She bumps into Lee-jun and he helps her, but ends up stung. Bom treats him and Lee-jun uses it as a chance to get closer. He brings her favorite food, gives her his card and hints that she should call him. At the same time, Jae-gyu texts her to apologize, admitting he might have been wrong. The school sports festival is coming. Blue team and white team. Han Jae-ol is on white and Se-jin is on blue. Bom picks a little ball and ends up on white. Teacher Hong says blue is weak and tries to force a swap, putting Bom on blue. Bom is left thinking about how to fix that unfairness. At home, she tries the food Lee-jun brought and the taste reminds her of her father. She starts crying and calls Lee-jun, but he doesn't answer. Outside, the man to remove the bees arrives. It's Jae-gyu. Bom tells him she doesn't care if he breaks something. She just wants to get rid of the problem. Jae-gyu brings down the hive and crushes it, resolving things quickly. Bom even asks him to cut down the tree. While he's cutting, Bom talks on the phone with Lee-jun. She says the food tastes familiar. Lee-jun offers her the recipe and she suggests meeting up. Jae-gyu hears this, gets jealous, and cuts the tree in a single blow. The tree falls toward Bom, but Jae-gyu holds it and saves her, again. Bom confronts him and accuses him of not respecting her boundary, of harassing her. Jae-gyu insists he only wanted to help, that he felt guilty. The tension rises. Later, Bom meets Lee-jun to thank him. Lee-jun seems to understand her too well and drops phrases as if he were reading her mind. The worst part is that Jae-gyu is nearby listening. Lee-jun says, without naming names, that some people come into your life even if you don't call them. Jae-gyu leaves, hurt. We then see Bom's family route. Lee-jun meets with her parents. Her father is happy that she ate. Lee-jun asks why Bom left. Flashbacks show that Bom wanted to fight a case and her mother, worried about her image as an actress, refused. Bom sought support from her father and he doubted her because of the rumors. That lack of trust pushed her to leave. In the present, the father hands over documents. Bom was gathering evidence for a lawsuit. Lee-jun looks at them like someone who finally understands the magnitude of the blow. The day of the festival and the parents' meeting arrives. Lee-jun shows up representing Se-jin and leads the blue team. Jae-gyu shows up representing Han Jae-ol and leads the white team. The two officially become rivals. Lee-jun works on motivation and the mind. Jae-gyu trains the kids with energy and honesty. Se-jin accuses Han Jae-ol of bringing his father to win easily. Han Jae-ol swears he didn't know. Se-jin admits she doesn't understand whether he's helping her or making fun of her, because sometimes his kindness feels like pity. That night, Se-jin throws Han Jae-ol a half-childish challenge. If the blue team wins, she wants a selfie with him. She calls him a loser jokingly but walks away smiling, and Han Jae-ol is left standing there, hopeful. In a calmer scene, Bom and Jae-gyu feed the puppy, which everyone calls Bom. They talk to the puppy as an excuse to say things indirectly. That he only wanted to help, that he returned money for the animal's care, that he wants to bring home the trophy like a promise. Nothing is said outright, but everything is felt. On the big day, Han Jae-ol tries to stop Jae-gyu. He tells him Bom is on the blue team and that he should let blue win. Jae-gyu tells his team to enjoy themselves and not obsess over winning. He even quietly goes over to Lee-jun and motivates him so that blue gets fired up. It seems he's willing to lose if that will make Bom happy. But then Bom appears, walks with confidence and makes it clear she's on the white team. Lee-jun, Jae-gyu and Han Jae-ol are all stunned. With that twist, the story cuts off, leaving the question floating. If Bom is on white, who will win? And what's going to happen with everything left unresolved between them? We'll find that out in the next recap. End of the drama.